Well, as you can see here, hanging off the boom, is that Army Wolf LT230. It was all painted black. So just to get a bit of a starter, I took it out and I sandblasted it to get the paint off. This isn't going to be the finish. He wants it like a shiny finish, but I thought I'd show you it before. Naturally it had oil in it, so I've got it off the boom, and I'm going to start to take bits and pieces off it, because I'm kind of curious as to what it is. But there's no marks on here at all. You know where it's usually stamped? Bummer. Anyway, what we're going to do is just take off. I'll put a lot of plugs into it to stop the sand getting into it and making it even more naughty to clean out. Yeah, they're interesting bungs. They're for plumbing. You know, you tighten up the nut and it expands. They're really good. There's some bolts in here that I think somebody's had this out before, because this, well, they have had it out before. They put the wrong bolt in here and it's really chewed up the thread, so we're going to have to put some helicoils in them. Right, so what we're going to take off first, I suppose, I don't know. This is dripping away nicely. Let's take these covers off, but first of all, before we do the covers, we're going to mark them up with a punch. As you know, these covers here, they'll only go on in one position, so we're going to mark them up. With a little few dots, dot cotton. Right, so we don't need that. Let's see if we can whiz them off. I'm not sure if there's enough power in my battery to do all this. We'll see. Yep. Now I've got a little container here for all the bolts. He's putting new bolts in. I don't know why, but that's what they want. They want to put new fastenings in it. Saved me a job. Actually, I'll just keep it for something else. These flange-headed bolts are extremely difficult to find here. You know, they're not the easiest things to get. Right, where's my dismantling tool? Available in the shop. Where the heck's that gone? Yeah, back again. Oh, I just got to mention, these, you know, if you've ordered some of these and they haven't turned up yet, Canada Post is on strike again. Must be getting near Christmas. Yeah, they've been on strike since end of September, I think it was. Ooh, you can see why we make these. But once, it's funny that they'll go to the post office and they'll take them. They won't process them. Why doesn't that come out of there? Oh, that's good stuff. I wonder what that is. It's like there's a bolt still in it. I bet it's all going to be like this. Well, whatever that is, it's good stuff. I don't know what that is. Now, sometimes you might find there's some screws hidden in there, but this one hasn't. You don't want to damage the casings like with screwdrivers, because they're too narrow. You know, they're too narrow. These have got a nice wide thing on them. Have I got another one? Of course, this is on the shoulder. There we go. And this, watch the gear will drop out on the floor, no doubt. There we go. very, very clean. Look at that. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? Wow, that's clean inside. This hasn't done many kilometres, I can tell you that for sure. Right, so now we've got that out. There's these bolts off here. That's my bone. Yeah, sandblasting is not a very nice job, but cleaning up the casings individually is a pain. Yeah, really nice inside. I don't think it'll take much. I don't think it'll take much cleaning up. This feels nice. This feels nice. Might as well take that cover off while I've got 10 minutes here. Yeah, look at that inside. Beautiful. Usually all burnt black. I'll take this off as well. All these short bolts are very much the same, all the way around here, so you can't really go wrong all that much. Now, oh, we might as well take that cover off and get oil everywhere. You know, it's none of the bolts are particularly tight, are they? Now, this might not be a bad job actually. Might not need many parts. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks nice inside. Yep, pretty good. Right, what else have we got to take off? Oh, we can take that bolt out of there for a start. Oh no, we're not. We have to take that 30mm off, so I'll go and get a 30mm socket. Right, back again. Don't think about just spinning these off and it spins the stalk off, because otherwise you can knacker up that, what do we say, this eye here, not the eye of the tiger. Little screwdriver bit chisel, shaped into a chisel. Best well. I actually went on their site, they've dropped them in price again, but I was looking to see if they had a 3/8 one, but they only do 1/2 inch stuff, which is a shame. Where are we going? Oh yeah. There we go. And we can take him off. Again, they're all the same size. And then that should come off. Yeah, they've really gone to town with sealer. Oh yeah, it's like a silicone they've got on there. Interesting. Right, that we need to use our holding tool. This is just a flange off one of these, cut down because it's the same bolt pattern. There you go. Good gun. Flange off. Again, look at that, super condition. I had a quick feel of the diff and it feels beautiful. It really feels nice. I don't know actually why we bothered taking it to bits. But ours is not the reason why, ours is what to do or die. That's that off. Yeah, this is really good. Really, really good. That fell off. The next thing, take this speedo drive out. They're 13s. Oh, there's 13s and some. Oh, that's not very tight, was it? Now these ones are a bit tricky because they're 15s, I do believe. These boxes with the long studs on, they have a counterbalance weight on them usually. But this must be a very late box. Well, yeah, it's a late box because it's got these ribs on. Let them out. That's all out. They're dripping oil everywhere. I really want to get down there. Let me get my pry bar into there. There we go. Just to get it started, you know, you can just wedge off. There's a little point in here that you can wedge it. It's not too bad. Everything looks nice, it's just like new. Next thing we've got to take off is this. Take the spring out of here and let me suck it out. Everything's pretty oily now. What's that? I think it's 6mm, I'm not sure. There's a spring in there. There's a spring called magnet trick in a ball, so that'll get it out. There's the ball. So that's that off. Yeah, this is the later box because this is where they put the switch light for the TD5s, for the diff lock thing. These are a bugger sometimes, these top long bolts, because there's a sealer in here and the sealer gets pushed through to the back. Might not come out. Oh, there it is. Calling me a liar. Right. Now, that bit should come off. We can get down the back of there as well. Take the oil seals out. It didn't take much getting out, did they? They've got sealer everywhere. When you've got a lot of, they put sealer around the seals. Maybe a good idea, I'm not sure, but we just have to soak them in petrol to get them off. Now I'm going to get that casing off there. There we go. Indispensable. There we go, there we go. I always try to take things off at the top if I'm using the tool rather than the bottom, because if in the event you do damage it, it's less likelihood of it leaking out the bottom. That is some good sealer. It can come off as a unit. There we go. Yeah, that was tight. Right, the next thing, we can take the intermediate gear out. I'm just wondering whether I should drop it down now. I think I will, because it's getting on my nerves now. Right, that's better. That unit up there screwed down. Now we need the nut here. That's odd. The shaft just fell off on its own, look. Fell out the bearing. Oh. I did notice when I looked at the R380 that because it's in bits, but there were some really shonky bearings. I'm going to do a different video on that to show you bearings. Oh, that didn't have to do it, huh? There we go. Punch, punch, punch. Yeah, the one we did before on that TD5, that was a bugger. Look at that, it's like a new pin, look. Shiny looking. Now if we lift this up and we take the gear out, making note of which way the bearings went in, we should find a solid sleeve. Nope, they've got a crush sleeve. Now isn't that interesting? So I'm going to just go off for a minute and find a suitable tie wrap, because I'm going to tie those bearings into the relevant places. Back some Koyo bearings as well. I'm quite surprised it had a crush tubes in it. They go in the bin. I won't use those. Now we should be able to get this differential out of here. A little bit of a wiggle. Looks like a little electrical contact there. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the bearings are lovely. The bearings are lovely, but they want new bearings and complete overhaul, so who am I to care about that? Let's get that over there. And that is it. Well, apart from the front section, I'm going to throw that in the parts washer. Right, let's have a look at this. What do we need off here? They look complicated, but they're not. So I'm going to go and get some tools, and then we'll come back. Yeah, all you need is needle nose pliers. So what we do is we put it in close to the the end of the spring as possible, and pull that down tight, and then with the other one we try to get that piece out. It's a lot of fun. Spend hours doing this. Sometimes you just drop out. There we go. There's one. And then we'll do the same at the other end. Well, you can see that because it is a bit of a pattern. Yeah. So there we've got the spring compressed. We had. There we go. And then should be able to just lift that out. Just make sure these little cup washers, cup things here are not bent. Right, that's that out. Next thing we're going to do is take off the plug. You might find that's in a different place because this has got the, some of them have got a switch under here. This might be just a plug. I've got a suspicious feeling that that's just a plug. And I think the ball and spring is at the front. Not often I'm wrong, but this time I'm right. Take that plug out. We didn't do too bad for sanding this. And there is the plug on the later ones. It's the same size. The detent, I don't know why they changed it up. Well, there must be a reason. There we go. That's that out. And now, sorry, I might be able to see that. Now we can push the shaft out. They say take out this plug at the end, but I don't think you can buy them, so I just squeeze them out that way. They're alright after that. Now before that spring goes boingy boingy all over the place, we're going to put the shaft back in there. Yeah, remarkably clean, remarkably clean. And then we take this diff lock ring out. Now remember, this bit, the thin bit, goes towards your diff lock, alright, not the other way around, otherwise you won't get it to work. I've done that before in the past. So, apart from knocking a few bearings out, there's not much to see really. Yeah, there's not much to see. I mean, we've got to get this speedo out of here. Oh, I've got to take the oil seal out of here as well. There's that one. Yeah, get one of these tools if you're doing oil seals. Brilliant tool. Get the seals out next to no time. And if you get them right, you can use them again. But seals are cheap. What's it got in there? What's the bearing make on there? I don't know. Let's get some circuit pliers. Yeah, the pins not really all that good on modern day ones. 6203. Let's see what his make it is. Just a general 6203 bearing, I think. Well, let's get this one out of here because then we can press them both out at the same time. Right, these are working better. And the self-locking ones are really good. Like these ones here. You can see where they've got silicone around them, so that took a little bit of getting out. Next thing, what was the next thing we got to do? Oh, speedo drive on this here, we've got to get that out. Now sometimes these can be a bit of a challenge because they seize up in here. This bit seizes up and there's precious little to get hold of to get it out. So what I try to do is get a very thin slender punch down here and hit the back of that to try and break it. So let me have a go at that. What do you know? Screwdriver. Straight out. There we go. And ta-da! This looks like a green but I'm sure it's blue. I'll have to do a tooth count on that to make sure as to what it is. So next is just knocking the bearings out. I'll go and do that on the press. These bearings were kind of loose, there wasn't much holding them in. There's no... oh, wait a minute, what's this here? Poland. Made in Poland. Oh, NSK. Oh, that's it, NSK, they're good. That's a good make. Right, now I've only got to do... press this one out, and it's a matter of just... where have you gone? Sorry about that, I was talking to myself. Press this one out here, and then it's just a matter of taking the castings right down, taking all the bearing races out and cleaning up. But first of all, I've got to get to the parts washer. As you can see over there, it's now a shelf. Wash off the oil, and then we can get into getting all this silicone off. But that's basically it. There's nothing, as far as I can see, untoward. We can use all the gears and everything again. That's unusual, isn't it? See you later.